Tonight, we will welcome back one of our great 2020 sponsors returning for 2021. We will release all of our membership numbers as they are right now, and we will talk about new locations for the biggest names in free agency, all of this and more in 20 seconds. Hey, fellow fanatics, welcome to the Fanatically Real broadcast sponsored by Football, Darts, and Fantasy Sports Alliance. Happy St. Patrick's to everybody out there today, especially you, Guy, the guy that's not wearing green. What's that about?
If I could wear green, I would be wearing green. Unfortunately, when you're down on the field here. Huh?
Are you allergic to green? What's your problem?
No, I mean, I'm down on the field. They didn't allow
it. You got a green screen behind you. So if you wore green right now, we wouldn't see you. Kind of like where the gray.
I would be a floating head.
Kind of like your stars on Walter there right now, where we can see a little bit of stuff in there as well. All right. So what we got here says, I mean, I'd rather not wear green than wear that, commission. Yeah. I know. I mean, I tried to break this up a little bit by not wearing a Jets hat at least. And this is the most green hat that I own, right? So that's why it's on there right now. In case you all don't know, this is the Augusta Green Jackets minor league baseball team here in Augusta, Georgia. So that's why I got the hat on tonight. Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day to you, Kev. What's up, man?
Not much. Just enjoying all of the football that's finally back. Buzz around actual moves, not just rumors and hearsay.
Well, we will talk about that, as you heard in the opening tonight. That is one of our segments tonight. But before we do, we also had another opening segment saying that we are going to be welcoming back one of our great 2020 sponsors for 2021, and that is Football Darts. We want to welcome them back. Had a really nice talk with Jonathan Davies, who is the owner of Football Darts, earlier this week, asking him if he wanted to come back as the broadcast sponsor for 2021. Not only did we get them back as a broadcast sponsor, but after I give our plug for them, we'll tell you what else is involved with the Football Darts sponsorship this year. So Football Darts is a dart game that combines the skill of traditional darts with the strategies of American football. This innovative dart game is played on a uniquely designed multiple target dartboard. It can be played in sports bars, at tailgate events, as league tournaments, or as a leisure activity in the comfort of your home. If you would like to check out their officially licensed collegiate dartboards, go to footballdarts.com. And here's why that is now important. So as of today, you go out and enter the promo code IPLAYFSA and you will get 30% off your order. Only go out to their website, footballdarts.com, and you will get that deal, promo code IPLAYFSA. Included with the board, you'll get the 4 darts, all the pins for the positions, the rule book that you need, everything you need to play right out of the box. And then with the sponsorship that we've got for them this year, we are still trying to figure out where we're going to place them. Are they going to be the runner-up sponsor? Is that where it's going to go? Is it going to be for the all-team bowl? Is it going to be somewhere else? However, we did talk to Jonathan Davies, and here's the deal that we got this year. Wherever this ends up getting placed, the person that wins, whatever that is, ends up getting a custom Football Darts dartboard with your brand on it, your FSA brand done on it, delivered directly to your house. So that is coming. And we can't thank Jonathan enough for that. So they're back as the broadcast sponsor, and now we got them in a bigger capacity, and you can go out and get 30% off your dartboard by going out and using iPlayFSA. So Joel Santana's out there. Joel asked me tonight, and Ross says talk faster. I'm pretty sure I'm talking pretty fast. He wants to make sure he's watching this on ×2 later so I can actually be talking at about ×4. So Joel's out there, and he says we're live. He had sent me a message just before we went live saying, hey, Commish, how do I sign up for the 2021 season for my dynasty team? We see Louis out there as well, telling him to hurry up and pay his league dues. So here's how you do it, Joel. Go out to FSA-FR.com, the website for FSA. Go to the membership section. Thank you, Kevin. Bring it up for me. Go to the membership section. You're going to see all of the different types of leagues that are there. Click on the Dynasty one that says join. That's going to take you over to the Jot form. Fill out all of that information that you see coming across the screen right then. And then when you scroll down, for you, make sure you click on Dynasty Bravo, because that is the league that you are a part of. So Louis says, for the, I don't know, is that 1,256,454th time that I think he's probably mentioned it, but that's how you go out and do that. And also check your email too, and let me know if I got the wrong email address for you, Joel, because it's out there. I put that in the email too. I want to make sure everybody who still hadn't paid got all of the words of how to do that. So make sure you go out and check that out for me. Yeah, what I mean, we're not too far off from having every Dynasty player back right now. We got a couple few that are still out there still.
I believe we're only missing maybe 7 or 8 across all 4.
You'll know whenever we get ready to those numbers. Yeah, you're pretty daggone close with that right now. Biggest one being Charlie is missing the majority of the team, so we got to get Charlie to get signed up for it. So if you're a Charlie Dynasty member, make sure you go out there and get signed up as well. So hey, the Empty Wagon guys were back this week. The tripod of Brad, Josh, and Eric. They broke down surprise releases from NFL teams because their show was on Friday going into Saturday. Tonight, we're going to pick up some of those. Where did they end up going kind of things? Where are they now? As a lot of those free agents that they were mentioning on the show now have new homes. And they also started talking about their dynasty rookie mock drafts as well, as the 3 of them were going back and forth in a snake draft, picking their teams. Make sure you go out and give the show a listen. You can catch them on FSA's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch feeds. And you can also catch the same show that they do as a broadcast, as a podcast on Anchor FM, and that is the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Show. If you're a listener of theirs right now on Anchor, though, make sure you're switching the channel over to Fantasy Sports Alliance's Anchor podcast, because as of 1 September, they will be completely under the umbrella of FSA with that podcast. Right now, you're going to be able to hear them in both locations. But if you are a regular listener of theirs under the Empty Wagon Anchor, make sure you're making the change over to the FSA Anchor. They are going to be back this Friday, March 19th to 20th. That's Friday going into Saturday, midnight East Coast time. If you're not already following them, find them on Fantasy Sports Alliance. And if you need to, you want to reach out to them on Twitter. You can see their Twitter handles coming across the bottom of the screen right now. And then all of their regular social media outlets is at EmptyWagonFF. And if all else fails, go out to FSA-FR.com. When are you and Average Josh going to be coming back?
We are back next Tuesday at 8:30, live on Facebook, YouTube, and now Twitch.
8:30 going to be a regular stay for you guys in 2021?
Yes, I believe so. Okay. We're going to line it up with the mothership here and roll with that.
Awesome. Average Bros, Empty Wagon, Fanatic Real Broadcast. Make sure you find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We also have our social media out there still on Twitter. We're just not live there anymore. Make sure you go out, like, subscribe, follow us on all of that. And yeah. Ross says he could use an NCFF branded dartboard. Well, all you got to do is jump in there and play well this year, and you've got one. Oh, yeah. Bill says, nice shirt, Kevin. I wanted to say something to you about that as well. Nice shirt. How are you?
It is doing well. Look at this. Nice, fresh Walter. Yeah. Comfortable. Very vibrant.
You know what? You said fresh Walter. The freshest Walter out there right now is Mick Walter. Somebody decided to take St. Patrick's Walter and put him on a T-shirt and put him on the site. And I think we've got a couple people said that they're interested in buying him already. So If you haven't been out to the shop lately, Kevin's been working his butt off to get that thing up and looking great. Go out and check out the shop. If you see something out there or you see something in somebody else's store and you want it in your store, reach out to myself or Kevin. We'll get it out there. Even if that's a pair of shoes, a pair of workout pants. What else kind of funny stuff that we have? Fanny packs.
Okay, we have fanny packs, we have mugs, we have blankets, we have leggings, we have pretty much you name it, we can make it. We have shoes.
I think I'm going to get one of those blankets. I think that's going to be a really good thing. I should get one of those, big Walter's face on it, and do that. You know, I don't want him to think that we're ignoring him, right? But I saw him come in the room. Yeah, and I know you're okay with ignoring this guy, but we might as well bring him in here because we would love to have some average Josh expertise tonight as we get into the where are they now.
Okay.
Josh, how are you? We didn't know if you were showing up tonight. I thought you were going to just be the stat guy and a fan for the night.
I got lost. I wasn't supposed to be here tonight. I was actually on my way to a funeral.
Oh no.
Yeah, the Saints organization just passed away a couple days ago.
Oh, because because Brees retired.
Yeah, I actually left my paper bag at home too. So you know, I know that's kind of out of my age there, but I do know about that era.
Oh yeah, that was definitely in my heyday. You know, probably before you were born, kind of thing. We've had this conversation often. Hey, before we get into these membership numbers, though, I wanted to tell you all about a great dinner I had on Saturday night. And if this name sounds familiar to you, there's probably one of two reasons. You've heard me say it before, or you're local to the area and you know this name, or you're an Arizona Cardinals or Seattle Seahawks fan. If you know who Jimmy Legree is, a great standout South Carolina Gamecocks and also NFL player with both Seattle and Arizona. I had dinner with him Saturday night and another one of the other guys that's in his unit, and I say unit for a reason. Carlson came out with us as well and had a great fantasy football and just general all-around sports talk with him while we were at Wild Wing Cafe the other night. We've talked about Jimmy a couple of times because we've talked about bringing him on as a spokesperson for FSA, right? Great conversation with him Saturday night to the point of us both walking away knowing that it was as many thumbs up as we can give it, that it is a done deal. We just don't know what that done deal looks like right now, right? So Jimmy Legree, if you don't know him, make sure you educate yourself. Go out and Google, watch his YouTube highlight videos. He was involved in the game, the Outback Bowl, when South Carolina played Michigan, and Clowney made the sack of the hit heard around the world, involved in that game. But go out and check out his highlight film. So this guy is going to be a part of FSA in some kind of capacity. We will still be working on that. And then why I said from his unit. So Jimmy decided to leave the football career behind and decided to join the Army Reserves. And him and Carlson happened to be down here for drill for that weekend. And we've been trying to get hooked up and go out to dinner since he graduated from here at Fort Gordon. I think it was in July. We just haven't been able to. Part of the reason because COVID, and we see out there, somebody said going outside must be nice. This was the first time we were able to actually go and enjoy a restaurant. They've been off limits to us as well. So it was very, very nice to be able to go out and do that. Had a great dinner with those guys. And all I can say is, like I said, educate yourself, go out and learn about Jimmy Legree. And you'll probably see him on the show sometime very, very soon. So very awesome conversation with him. So hello.
I see, Josh, you changed your name back.
Yes.
Thank you,
you know what? Well, who put bye Brees? Was that you, Kevin?
Of course it was Kevin,
Yes,
because Kevin doesn't know proper capitalization.
Yeah, bad taste.
I was trying to. My keyboard was over here. I didn't want to make it obvious.
I do like to thank you, number 9. Yeah, so that'll be part of the stuff that we talk about in the Where Are They Now segment. And you know what? If I had thought about it and I didn't want to have all the green on tonight, I'd have worn my Drew Brees jersey as well, because I do have one too. So, but before we get into the Where Are They Now, let's talk about some membership numbers. So Right now, we are 35 out of the 96 teams that we would like to have in the redraft. Kevin, you weren't too far off. We're missing 9 right now in Dynasty. I think that's going to be shortly down to 8 as we got Joel finally pointed in the right direction. So right now we're 39 out of 48. The QB54 Arm and Leg League is up to 16. Your auction and IDP League is up to 11 out of the 14 you would like to have. And the DOD League, we're just now starting to push that a little bit heavier. Especially with Jimmy Legree's help with that, with him being in the reserves. We have 7 teams in that right now. So if you are a military member or former military member and you're out there listening to this or watching us right now, live or tape delayed, and we have an exclusive league for military only or former military, go out and join the DOD League. Going to be a great league. Go out there and look at the hot items that are there in the membership section and what you're playing with and for. And then we will finalize the rule set and get that published very, very shortly for you all. All right, let's talk about where are they now. How are we going to run through this, Kev?
Yes. So, Josh, do you have Sports Track up or no? Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay.
I've heard of it, but I don't have it up. I'm currently on Twitter right now.
All right. So what we'll do is we'll go team by team through the signings and releases. We won't get into too much of the releases or have not brought backs until we get to the team that they are now on. But we'll go through, review their fantasy relevance, what we think, and we will give our grade, stock up, down, or neutral with their new team. And as we go through this list, I do want to remind you, if you do miss this or if we miss anything, please comment, and we would love to hear your guys' thoughts on everything that we go through. And unless your name is Damien, then please keep your comments to yourself.
Oh, man, you guys.
So we will start in alphabetical order here. Arizona first. Biggest one, J.J. Watt. This was free agency, if you will. It was already known that he was going there. Had the discussions. Will be wearing his number 99 there. Not much of a fantasy relevance, if you will, for the redraft, as it's a full team defense. I don't think that one player makes too much of a difference as far as their stock goes. But in the auction IDP, maybe a little bit of a better fit. We'll have to see.
I think from a fantasy standpoint, yeah, maybe, right? Because I think Houston is just a great big cluster right now. I don't think there's anything good happening on either side of the ball right now. However, a lot of people said, or there were some comments that were made from D-Hop that says, hey, let's finish what we started, referencing, come join me and we'll go win an NFL championship together, right? I don't think Arizona is the place for it, though. I don't think it's going to happen there. But it is nice. You know, I look at it from a J.J. Watt standpoint as well. He poured his heart and soul into Houston, and basically he got slapped in the face in this last year or so, and it probably is for all of the players on the field from that organization. So just to see him be somewhere else. But Arizona's a surprise, right? Because I think a lot of us thought that he was probably going to go to Pittsburgh and go join his brothers over there. I think there's a lot of other places he could have gone. Arizona's a surprise.
So the next couple of names I'm going to name off here might change your mind on the outlook of Arizona. Both of them signings from today. I don't know if you've seen either of these. In the secondary to match J.J. Watt on defense is Patrick Peterson.
Okay.
Signs. Helps him out over the top. Again, not too much fantasy relevance outside of IDP maybe, but definitely a big help. And then the biggest name on the offensive side of the ball, AJ Green.
Now, we did discuss earlier today what's the over-under on how many games AJ Green will play in his first year in Arizona, right? Because the guy cannot stay healthy. But I do like it. I do like him there. I mean, has Fitzgerald finally Has he finally retired? Has he finally announced, "Hey, I'm officially done"?
So, I believe it was planned pre-league year turnover that he was going to. He is still listed as a free agent, so they could bring him back. I believe it's after today now, because as Josh may know, Brees has made 2 statements, one earlier in the week and one again today, officially announcing it. And I believe that puts the stamp on it for the year. So that has not happened yet today. So,
Hey, we got somebody
We'll
in
have
the
to-
background playing stat guy for us tonight, saying Peterson ended up going to the Vikings, not to the Cards.
that is correct. I
Okay.
read the wrong column here. He moved off of the card.
Yeah, I was
I
about
thought
to
he was already
say.
on the Cardinals roster.
Yeah.
I thought maybe that was
Yeah.
maybe a re-signing that you were talking about. Ross, have a good night, brother.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah, that is my mistake. He was on Arizona and moved to the Vikings.
Very below average.
Outside of that, they signed Matt Prater, kicker, not people.
What?
And
How are you going to go against
they
that?
lose to Son Reddick.
Just last week, you said that they are people.
Not today.
No, Prater. I mean, he's a kicker, but I'm going to ask this question. Prater just recently with Detroit, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I mean, I'm pretty sure I had him in the arm and leg league, which is really the only spot that he's relevant, anyways. But
does he still hold the record?
54?
I thought it was like 64.
No, it's 63.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Totally wrong number at the beginning. Yeah, 64.
Oh, here comes Chris.
Well, Chris got kickers and not people. We knew he was out there. You knew
somebody's got to rain on my parade. I'm already going through enough grief as it is.
All right. So does that clear up? Does that take care of Arizona?
Yes. Next team moving on down is Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta.
They have not yet signed anybody. They have they have 2 players out there that have since left. Alex Mack, their center, and Justin McCray, their guard, both no longer on the team. No real fantasy relevance there, though. Outside of
those guys, especially Mack, that would be a big news if he went somewhere else and signed. Nothing yet, though.
Say that again.
Where is Mack signed anywhere? That'd be pretty big news if he does sign somewhere.
Yeah. So Alex Mack went to San Fran. Okay. And Justin McCray went to Houston.
Okay, interesting. The Mac one is a big deal, and it's funny that we say that nothing else has happened in Atlanta. And Sean, I'm laughing at your expense because I know you're out there right now, but that just seems par for the course for that organization right now too. Just as messed up as Houston, I think. Mario out there as well. Mario, how are you? All right, so that takes us to who? Baltimore.
Yes, Baltimore is next with a few names here. People that they have signed. Kevin Zeller, a guard, formerly of the Giants. They re-signed Bowser, a outside linebacker. And then they lost a few names. Mark Ingram, Chris Moore, Morgan Cox, Matt Judon, sorry. And probably the biggest on the defensive side of the ball is Yannick Ngakoue, however you pronounce that, goes to the Raiders.
Ngakoue.
He's got too many silent letters in there. What am I supposed to do?
So the biggest one on there is the loss of Ingram, and he signed somewhere, yeah?
Yeah, yes. He is now with Houston.
Houston, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Sorry for you, Mark Ingram. That's where all good players go to die now, I think. I think that's what it's going to be.
I still have him on Dynasty. I still have hope.
I think that's bad for him going there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you take a look at it, they still have David Johnson, who didn't do too terrible outside of not being able to do much. And realistically, at this point, nothing has come of Watson, who can run himself. So you're looking at a situation very similar to the team we are on now in the Buffalo Bills, where both of their running backs are serviceable, but not high numbers. So
They're number
because
they're
of the
number
situation
two.
of quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're number twos at best, or flex players at best in fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what is that? So since you just mentioned that in Buffalo, they're the next team up, right?
Yes, they are. They did go out and get a receiver. They brought one in and lost one.
Yeah.
They bring in Emmanuel Sanders off the Saints. Probably pretty significant there. He's going to step in and be the number 2, I would assume, because Beasley isn't going to take a 2 role. He's strictly slot guy next to Diggs.
And then who's the other guy? Gabriel Davis, I think, is the other one that's there. The guy that cost me my my Meathead League this year championship. Gabriel Davis catching that touchdown. Yeah. So I'm wondering what that does to Davis's stock more than what it does to Manny Sanders.
Probably stays the same.
Probably
stays the same because they had Brown in there, who's now gone. So
Yeah.
I don't see that much of a difference between Brown and Sanders. So
Okay.
Next we have Andre Roberts, wide receiver, leaves Buffalo, goes to Houston. Matt Hack, punter, comes in, not a person.
Punters aren't people.
Yeah. John Brown, as we mentioned, does leave Buffalo. He goes over to the Raiders with Quentin Jefferson, a defensive tackle. And then they looks like they are keeping at corner Levi Wallace as well. That is a newer re-signing. No numbers on them yet, so.
All right, let's do next would be Carolina. Probably biggest name there is Curtis Samuel.
That is correct.
I was gonna say,
Curtis Samuel. No, Curtis Samuel is probably the biggest name on the list, but not for anything good. He rejoins Rivera and goes to the Washington football team.
You think he's just trying to rebuild his team up in Washington now?
I mean, he should.
Well, what does that do? Do you think that helps or hurts Scary Terry?
I think it helps all the way around, right? Because they really didn't have another receiver outside of him. They used their tight end Logan Thomas a little bit. Their backfield was banged up, and you can't really judge them off last year. They do bring in a quarterback, the bearded wonder, who we will talk about in a little bit. That's got to help everybody's stock all the way around as well. A steady quarterback. Obviously, Haskins no longer there, and Alex Smith no longer there. So I think I like him in that situation. He definitely moves up because I don't think it's a run and gun situation there as it is in Buffalo. In Buffalo, it's either Josh Allen's legs or 50, 60-yard bombs to Diggs. I think there's a lot more intermediate stuff to work in both Brown and Scary Terry there.
Do you think, you mean Samuels and Scary Terry?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think, well, we're going to go ahead and do it right now since you mentioned the bearded wonder. Do you think Fitzpatrick will be the starter in Washington? Do you think he's there to be a mentor to Heineke? What do you think of the outcome is there?
No, I think he's going to end up being the starter there. I think that there's no reason for a QB competition.
I think he's going to be the starter there for probably a season, and then they'll either bring up Heineke or they'll just draft somebody to replace him.
So let me ask you guys this: don't look it up unless it's already on your screen. You can see it. Pretend like you didn't see it. Do you know how many years Fitzpatrick's been in the league now?
19.
No, not quite that many, but it is a pretty high number. I think it's 16 years of experience. I think this year will be a 17th year. It's a long time. I mean, outside of
I didn't think it was that long.
Yeah, outside of Brady and Brees and stuff like that, it's a pretty long. It's a pretty long career. So
I think he's also on like his 10th team.
On his what? 15?
I think he's on his 10th team. I think it's
10th
high.
team. Yeah. I mean, I could see him being a starter there as well, right? But I don't see it lasting long. They're going to have to bring somebody else in there. I think he's a bridge. Heineke could still be their guy. He can't play any worse than Haskins did. And Smith was good for a week or two before, I think everything just kind of caught up with him. There's got to be somebody else there. Maybe I don't know where Washington is at in the draft. Maybe one of these 5 quarterbacks that seem to be, relevant guys to draft right now. Maybe they draft one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think Fitzpatrick's the guy. I don't think he has been the guy since he was in Buffalo. I think he'll just be a journeyman quarterback, and he's good at it, right? I mean, there's plenty of them out there that do these different moves. I mean, I believe he was supposed to be that for Tua. We see what they're doing, and this is going to be a similar situation, whether they draft somebody or it's Heineke.
So Washington made the playoffs, right? So, I mean, it's not like they got the greatest of pick anyways. We took 7 teams on each side, so those 14 teams. So he's going to have they'll have the 17th pick unless they traded it away. I don't even know if they have a first-round pick this year or not.
19th.
19th, okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one of those quarterbacks is left there for them. All right, let's get away from talking about that for so long. So Chicago next.
Oh, yes.
All right, so big name there. We already know Allen Robinson got the franchise tag put on him, which is puke emoji. That sucks for him. Really sucks for him as a player. But what else do you got for Chicago?
The only other big move there is bringing in Andy Dalton off of Dallas.
1 year, $10 million.
Yeah, I believe already been named the starter as well. I think they're just going to hand it to him. Trubisky, they did not pick up his 5th-year option, which makes him a free agent. So his backup will be Foles. And
Does
that's about it for them.
Does Trubisky go anywhere then?
I think so.
Yeah, but where's a good landing spot?
I said I thought he could go to New England.
Nah, man, not after that.
Unfortunately, not.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be playing it for less than $10 million this year with all the bonuses.
Yeah, with the bonuses, he might be able to get it though. KB's out there tonight. KB, how are you? Congratulations on your first college football game. Unfortunately, it did not turn out the way you guys were hoping, but it was awesome to be able to watch you guys. So congratulations on that. And then Chris says wherever Mitch goes, he will not be a starter. I probably agree with that as well.
That's what I was going to say. The one team that came to mind for me was actually Atlanta as a backup, and then Atlanta uses their second pick for either a different position or they trade back on it. That's
not a bad idea. I wonder if Sean's out there listening and see what he thinks about that.
I'm going to agree with KB. I can't see. I'm looking at the teams here, and I can't see him going anywhere and being a pure starter.
No, there's no way. No. And you know what? You think about the orders. Go ahead, Kev.
No, I was going to say, when I had mentioned the Patriots, I think if they go there, because he is a stronger armed quarterback than what Cam is, and he fits Belichick's play style a little bit better than a mobile quarterback like King Cam, I know he wouldn't be a starter. I mean, they're obviously starting Cam this year. They have not announced that. They have not said that he's going to be, and they have said that they are going to either draft a quarterback or sign another one.
Okay. It's kind of the trickle-down effect of this. Somebody asked me what was the big deal about Dalton going to Chicago. I thought the same thing. He's going to probably go in there and start right away, especially even though it's only 1 year, $10 million is starter money, right? But the trickle-down effect from all of that, Chicago trading back or trading up to get Trubisky when they had the opportunity, and hindsight's 2020, right? With Patrick Mahomes still there available during the draft, and they traded up to get Trubisky. So, just weird the trickle-down effect that happened there. And I don't know if we lost Kevin or not. I think I still hear him in the background. Just don't know if we lost him on video or not.
I am still here.
Okay, good. So I think the next one for us to look at is Cincinnati, right?
Let me take a look. It is,
So,
and we
couple
obviously
things.
know that they lose AJ Green.
Yep.
Um,
John Ross left as
they
well, right?
yes, John
He
Ross
signed with
goes to
somebody.
New York.
Yes, the
Went to New
Giants.
York
He's with
to
the
the Giants.
Giants.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I know they re-signed Brandon Allen, I think, quarterback.
I don't see that.
No, don't see that one. Maybe that's just something I read and it might not be accurate. I have to always check my sources. So, but I thought I had
So
heard that.
going down their list, they bring in Trey Hendrickson, defensive end, which replaces Carl Lawson, who goes to the Jets. They bring in Mike Hilton, a corner. They lose a tight end in Carter. They re-sign P. Ryan,
Okay.
and they lose their center, BJ Finley, to the Steelers.
Let's see. Next, Cleveland. I haven't really heard a whole lot out of Cleveland. Any big news out of Cleveland? Anything on the offensive side that is fantasy relevant?
The only thing that I see that is fantasy relevant for them, nothing happened yet, but rumors around OBJ once again on leaving.
Such
Posted
a
on Twitter saying second act. A lot of people think there's ties to him going back to the Giants. All defensive moves for them,
Okay.
and mainly losses on the defensive side. Losing linebacker Tay Davis, losing a corner Terrence Mitchell. Nothing too exciting going on there.
Dallas. We know Andy Dalton goes to Chicago.
Dak gets signed.
Yeah, that gets paid. And that's as much as I know. What I'm doing is I'm looking at the 2020 depth chart that MFL has on each one of these teams and just scrolling across the offensive side of the ball and see from what I read all of this week from free agency if anything sticks with me and what we should be talking about. Yeah, that's all I know from Dallas. What you got?
Yeah, probably the only other name there is Joe Thomas, linebacker, leaves. A little bit of an older guy, goes to Houston. Yeah.
Okay, so he went to Houston. Okay, where all good players go to die. Gotcha. All right, so next up would probably be Denver. Super quiet out of the Denver front. I haven't heard a single thing out of Denver.
Yeah. So far, only 2 moves as far as anything in the free agency. Anyway, they bring in Ronald Darby from the Redskins, and they bring in Mike Boone from Minnesota, but they also re-signed Philip Lindsay, so he's still there, and that's about it. Oh, and Tim Patrick stays.
They released AJ Bowie.
All right, so let's talk about Detroit. We already know the big move that was already made. I think you guys have discussed it on your show. I know Empty Wagon guys have talked about it. Jared Goff now the quarterback in Detroit. But I didn't get a chance to see all of the big hoota-hata that you guys were talking about with DeAndre Swift today. Nothing happens with Swift, but Detroit brings in another running back that could affect Swift's fantasy value, right? Who'd they bring in?
They bring in Jamal Williams.
Most recently Green Bay, right? Okay.
Yeah. Back up to Jones when he was out and played well.
Right.
They signed Josh Hill and they released Chase Daniel.
So Josh Hill, the tight end, yeah?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. And they let Chase Daniel go.
They also lose Marvin Jones.
Yep.
And then they are going to lose Galladay as well, who's a free agent. Most likely not going to bring him back in, which means that pretty much leaves them with no receivers.
No receivers.
Yet they
Wow.
sign a running back, so that helps.
And they have another tight end.
Yeah.
Who'd they bring in? Hill. You just said that. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Green Bay. We know that. Who did they release? Did they re-signed Aaron Jones or they released Aaron Jones?
No, so they did not
re-signed
tag him, and he did hit free agency technically.
Yes.
And then they signed him long term.
They signed him. Okay. What about Jamal Williams? That we just mentioned Jamal Williams left, right? He went from Green Bay to Detroit. Okay. Any other big news out of Green Bay?
No, the only other two moves they made, they brought in the center, or they lose their center to the Chargers, and they they lose a linebacker as well to Houston. So no other relevance there.
Well, I was getting ready to say the next one up on the list should be Houston, but I think we've beat up Houston enough about who's coming and going in that organization right now. Still big question mark around Deshaun Watson, what's going to happen there. We already know that J.J. Watt's gone, and then everybody else who's ready to die has come to the team.
Well, it looks like they brought in that what-if replacement just in case Watson does decide to walk.
Yeah, they did bring in Tyrod Taylor.
Okay. I don't know if Brad was here right now from Empty Wagon, he would probably have something witty to say, but not relevant to us whatsoever. I don't think so. Whatever. Awesome for Tyrod Taylor.
I'm not saying it's a good signing. I'm just saying it's a what if Watson walks.
Did they get his lungs reinflated? Like, is he going to be able to play? This is where good people go to die in Houston, right?
What a turn of events for them. You got to imagine he is a backup, finds a starting job, looks like a good fit, trying to revigorate his career. Week 1, goes in, gets a little hurt, gets his lung stabbed by a doctor, and gets his job stolen by a rookie. Yep. Which, by the way, we don't see often that somebody loses their job due to injury. Usually it's like a Foles situation when he was with Jacksonville, where you get hurt, quarterback comes in, you come back in for at least a game, see how you are, see if you can, be better than what they just saw, and then get the boots. But Tyrod just benched all season, and for the Chargers' benefit, right? I mean, we all think that Herbert is a guy to stay, or at least seems so.
Yeah. Hot take from KB says Cardinals versus Jags in the Super Bowl or Cardinals versus Patriots.
I'm going to say no.
One of those.
I think both of those hot takes make me want to put the puke emoji up here.
I'm going to say no to both of them, to all three of those teams there. I'm going to say no.
You know what though? I'm really, really we'll get to it when we get down there, but I'm really surprised about what New England's doing with the team right now. And I know Kevin will have a lot to say about it. We'll try to breeze over it as quick as we can because we don't care about what Kevin says. So talk to me about the Colts.
Well, just a couple mentions just to wrap up the Houston. I know we mentioned them when we went back to the Baltimore. They do bring in Ingram. They do bring in Chris Moore, wide receiver. They Tyrod Taylor, and then a whole mess of defensive guys. One I did not mention on Buffalo, they do bring in Andre Roberts, another receiver, trying to replace DeAndre Hopkins. Not gonna happen, but they're trying.
That guy can't replace Cooks or Cootie or any of those guys that are out there.
Then we get to the Colts.
Colts. Now, Wentz is now the quarterback.
Yes, officially. And by the way, while we're talking about him, he has his press conference either today or tomorrow to announce him coming to the team and announce his new number because they didn't give him 11. And they
Michael
made
Pittman,
it to where
says no. Michael Pittman says, I scored a touchdown. You can't have my number.
Oh my goodness.
What?
They also made it so that no Philly reporters can attend the press conference.
Why is that?
They don't want anybody from Philly asking him and hijacking the press conference about Philly. So they said
want it
no,
to be all
thank you.
about
We don't want
Indianapolis.
They don't want anybody in there throwing snowballs inside the press conference. I get that. That's cool. All right, so tell me if I heard something crazy. Maybe I just saw it in passing. Something about Jonathan Taylor and Naheen Heinz. What happened there? Was there somebody else that? Oh, okay.
Not necessarily Heinz, but it's Marlon Mack. They do bring him back.
So they brought him back. Okay. I mean, he was hurt hurt most of the year. Heinz was hurt most of the year. Great to have that 3 guys there. I don't see a problem with that.
I mean,
from a fantasy standpoint, it sucks. Yeah,
team-wise, no, it helps them.
Yeah.
But fantasy-wise, you just basically took a top, a true RB1 in Taylor, who we expect to be probably top 10 this year. Probably drop him into RB2 range, and
I was about to
now
ask you
slated.
Well, I was going to say
it's going to end up being it's a Kareem Hunt and what's his name situation, Nick Chubb.
Maybe. I still see JT as being the main guy there, right? I see Matt coming back as a change of pace back, and you still got Heinz out there to do any of the third down receiving that's there. I think this elongates both of their careers if they can play this the right way. See no problem with this whatsoever. But again, we're talking from a team standpoint, not a fantasy standpoint. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Taylor's numbers probably drop a little bit, right? But it's to give him the rest that he needs. So I don't know. Yeah, from a dynasty standpoint, probably still not. I wouldn't be too worried about it. I think you're still okay with JT on the team. There's anything going on with the wide receiver situation? What's going on with T.Y. Hilton?
No news there yet. They do lose a quarterback, though. Jacoby Brissett, I don't know when this came out because this is the first I'm seeing it. Jacoby Brissett does go to Miami.
Yeah, that was real recent as well. All right, let's see. Jacksonville, they bring in Urban Meyer, which in my personal opinion is stupid. I think the man will probably – was it yesterday? Okay, thanks, Chris. On Brissett announcement was yesterday. Yesterday for who? Yesterday for you or yesterday for us? Still the same.
Yeah,
yesterday.
Probably yesterday for him.
But Urban Meyer probably die on the sideline, coaching his first year. I would hate to see it, but I think it's a bad move for the organization. But what do I know? So who do we got there now? What are the big moves over in Jacksonville?
So this one I'm going to mention because I know Josh likes both of these guys. Not necessarily fantasy relevance, but the Griffin twins come together over from Seattle. Got to be a great story there, right? I mean, both a long shot, both get drafted by the same team. Shaquille Griffin straight up signs with the with Jacksonville. Shaquem, his brother, was a restricted free agent. Seattle lifts the restriction and lets him go with his brother.
Nice.
So,
very
cool
nice story there. Always a good story there.
They bring in a mess of players too. None that I'm seeing that they lose so far. It looks like they've been doing a ton of signing. They bring in Philip Dorsett, Marvin Jones, Jamal Agnew, James O'Shaughnessy, all on the offensive side of the ball. Carlos Hyde. They bring in another tight end, and Chris Manhertz as well.
Chris says that Jags supposedly put Minshew on the block today. Wonder if that's legit news.
I don't know. So I do know that teams have inquired about him.
Okay.
But but I don't know if they've said, hey, he is on the block officially. You got to believe that they'll probably need somebody in there to play in the backup role just because, we assume that
Lawrence is score number one.
Lawrence Taylor is going to be the guy day one, but you never really know.
Trevor Lawrence. You said Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
God, you're not even old enough to know who that guy is. What are you talking about?
Yes, I do.
You saw him on highlight films.
Exactly.
What about Tyler Eifert? I thought I heard something about it. Was he released?
I believe he was cut.
Okay. Big news breaking. Rashad Higgins is expected to be to sign back with Cleveland, a one-year deal. Not too exciting. That's good though. I mean, we've already passed that spot in Cleveland, so it's good to know. Extra information. Let's see. Where does that put us now? Kansas City. Did I hear
also
right?
Breaking.
No, go ahead.
This would also be breaking that Kyle Van Noy is returning.
It's for the Patriots.
To the Patriots.
We don't care. Did I hear right from Kansas City that Le'Veon Bell has been released? Is that a thing? Am I reading bad info again?
I thought that Le'Veon Bell was only there on a one-year deal. I believe he was a free agent regardless.
Okay, gotcha. And KB says you're only mad because of what Urban did to your team up north. Now, I will say this. My alum, Bowling Green State University, he did coach there for 1 year. I do believe that he is a great coach. But he left Ohio State, in my opinion, for health reasons. The health doesn't get any better just because you're coaching in the pros now. I would think that would be way more stressful. So for him to go there, I think is kind of dumb. But what else you got for Kansas City?
Kansas City, only big news there is Joe Thuney from the Patriots guard does sign with them. Outside of that, it's been pretty silent.
All right, Chargers. We know Tyrod Taylor is not there anymore.
Well, first we have
Hunter Henry.
First up, yeah, let me go back over there because you skipped a team. So
did I skip? Who did I skip?
The Raiders.
I've got the Raiders after the Chargers on my list.
Well,
just saying.
Your list is wrong. So
okay, you're probably right. I don't know. It's abbreviated LAC and LAR. C comes before R in the alphabet. New Jersey education. I'm not sure.
What's funny is that you say that because they do have LA. They have LV here. So
okay.
Regardless,
makes more sense to have LV.
Yeah, but regardless, on to the Chargers first. They do lose Tyrod Taylor. They lose Hunter Henry. No one big that I see them actually bringing in. They bring in the center from Green Bay, Lindsey. That's about it. No fantasy relevance here.
Who's next on your list?
Well, we got to go back to the Raiders.
Okay, let's go back to the Raiders. Let's see.
First big name is Yannick. I'm not saying your last name. Defensive end. They bring in from Baltimore.
Yeah.
They lose Aguilar.
Yep.
They lose Devontae Booker, who signs with the Giants. They signed Solomon Thomas, decent defensive end from the 49ers. They bring in John Brown, I guess, to replace the plethora of receivers that they lose. They also lose Tyrell Williams, who was cut and then signed with Detroit. And
where did Aguilar
go? New England.
New England. Oh, okay. We'll get there eventually. I'm sure you're just chomping at the bit to talk about it. All right. So who's next? Yeah, who's next on your list right now? So would we be at the Rams
Miami.
now? What happened to the Rams? We totally missed the Rams in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is the Rams. My fault.
Man, I'm telling you that public education over there. So we know Matt Stafford's now with the Rams, right? Malcolm Brown is now where?
Let me see. Nothing I'm seeing there on Brown. I see.
Thought Malcolm Brown left, it went somewhere, and so did Gerald Everett.
Yeah, Everett, I see he went to Seattle, tight end. I see Derek Rivers, outside linebacker, leaves. I don't see anything on Brown here.
Nothing on Malcolm Brown? Okay, maybe I'm
No.
bad stuff again. Hey, Chris, since you're out there, how do you feel about – okay, so Malcolm Brown did go to the Dolphins. Okay.
Was that official? I'm not showing it here with anything next to it. It could be, and this is just not updated, but
And
I
then
don't
wanted
see
to
that
ask
being official yet.
Chris, since he was here, what he thought about Everett going to Seattle. You got a plethora of tight ends in Seattle right now. So I'm wondering what Everett does for all of that. What does that do for the tight end room? Excuse me. Rams, Dolphins, Malcolm Brown, free agency. Okay. That came out just yesterday. Yeah, you have 406 tight ends. So between your tight ends and Oakland's tight ends, I think you have them all. Or Oakland, the Vegas Raiders. I think you have them all. Pokemon.
Then we go down to Miami.
Now we're at Miami. So Fitzpatrick's gone.
Yes. Fitzpatrick's gone. Jacoby Brissett they bring in.
Okay.
They lose Van Noy, which is new, and they lose Camus, Gruger Hill, and that's about it. No real fantasy relevance there.
Chris, you don't think they keep Disley and keep him as the number 2 guy there? That would be my thought, but maybe it's a money thing. Maybe they don't. I don't know what they signed Everett for, so that's a possibility. All right, so we at Minnesota?
Yes. Minnesota
other than Boone?
brings in Patrick Peterson.
Yep.
And that's about it.
Did we say Mike Boone left?
Yes, he goes to Denver.
Denver, okay. All right. And Kyle Rudolph was also a release as well, right? And I believe he's still sitting out as a free agent.
Correct. He is still out there.
All right. You know, when I pick up on these nuggets when I'm scrolling social media, it surprises me, even as old as I am, the stuff that stays with me. Josh should be like the rest of it. Like everything I can't think of, Josh, with his young man brain, should be filling me in on everything else. So this next team that's on my list, we're going to skip over, right?
Yeah, if you want to skip half the signings in the league.
Yeah, no doubt. So what's going on with your boy Bill? Like, he's got the most money available to him in the league, and he's like, I'm just spending it. Like, I don't even care.
So I think they said it was something close to $350 million, right? That he spent in the last 10 years. No, in the past 10 years, it was $350 million in 10 years. So far in free agency, he's close to it already.
Jeez.
He's over 250.
So Cam's back.
Cam's back on a 1-year deal.
Give me every receiving thing that they picked up. They picked up wide receivers. They pick up 2 tight ends. Was there any running backs involved in this?
Not yet, but they're talking to Chris Carson. They have announced they are bringing one in. I don't know why. Probably because they're not bringing back James White, who is a free agent, which is interesting because last year, especially fantasy perspective-wise, probably in your flex range, but he had the second highest fantasy point per attempt last year with 1.2.
Yep. So, and I did have him playing my flex quite a bit last year too.
Yeah. Other notable names, people that they bring in, Matt Judon, Jonnu Smith, tight end, Hunter Henry, Jalen Mills, Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, Cody Davis resigns. Ted Karras, center, comes back. Van Noy is back now. Surprisingly, the McCourty brothers still out there not signed.
What do you think about these two tight end signings?
I like them a lot, especially with the style that they are going to have to run now. Gives me shades of Hernandez, Gronk. They bring in Hunter Henry, who is a guy that they actually have tried to trade for twice now already. So bringing him in is a big body guy, very much the blocking back. And then Jonnu Smith, we know to be more of a receiver, and his usual fault is that he can't block. So he is now a guy that you can line up out wide. You pair that with all of the receivers they now have. All the
number twos that they have still.
Yeah,
because all they did was replace the twos with more twos.
Yeah, they will have a healthy Edelman, N'Keal Harry, Jacoby Myers, and then they bring in Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar, who is probably their number one right now, because we know Edelman to be a slot guy. So
I kind of like the connection that you brought there with Aaron Hernandez and Gronk, because I thought the same thing earlier today too, and I think that's a pretty good fit there with the way if they go back to run the style of offense that they had, even with Brady at the helm when they had those two guys, it could be very good for New England. They just need that running back now. And the other good thing about the team too is all of those guys that opted out for the COVID season. All those guys on the defensive side of the ball that said, "Hey, I don't want to play because of COVID," are now all coming back as well. So
they had the most. They had the most opt-outs last year with 8. Every one of them is now back.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. New England's going to have a team this year. I would hate to say it, but it's a possibility they could rise back to the top and give Buffalo a run for their money in that division. That's a possibility.
I will say that I see them as playoff contenders. If that means taking a wild card spot, so be it. I think that Buffalo will be hard to beat because I do see Josh Allen as being top 2 quarterback in the league right now. It's him and Mahomes. So no one else has the ability to change games like he does right now, the way that he has his legs involved. I mean, we've seen games where he's thrown 400 yards with his deep ball or run for over 100. So not many players can do both. So
I think next on the list, and because Josh has been so patiently quiet over there, I want to make sure that he gets his plug in here. You got Saints next on your list?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. Josh, it's all yours, man. Tell us about the Saints.
I don't even know where to start.
Well, you lost Manny Sanders.
So yeah.
Well, you should start with number 9.
Oh my goodness! Every time I go to talk, Kevin, I'm going to smack you silly through the screen.
Start with number 9. Give the fans what they want.
No, I'm not giving the fans what they want.
Fine. What they want is some Traquan Smith. That's what they want.
Drew Brees retires from the NFL. Fine. Drew Brees retires from the NFL. So somebody has to step up to the plate. And instead of just going out and doing the logical thing and getting one quarterback, no, the Saints have to get 2 quarterbacks. So they re-signed Taysom Hill to a 1-year deal. They re-signed Jameis Winston to a 1-year deal, as well as drop just about half the team, including Emmanuel Sanders, who is now with Buffalo, Janoris Jenkins with Tennessee. They've been converting a lot of contracts here to free up space. Quan Alexander is released, and Malcolm Brown was traded. Malcolm Brown, not the running back, the defensive tackle, was traded to Jacksonville for nothing. It literally says for to be determined.
Hey, Chris, I think Chris says it best. They only lost a mediocre quarterback anyways whenever Drew Brees retired.
80,000 yards.
Jerry Michelle, how are you tonight? Thank you for being on.
I got something else caught in my throat. Most 5,000-yard passing seasons.
Oh, wait. Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
Hold on. I have one more. I got one more. Most accurate QB. Constantly broke his own records.
Wait. I need stats to back the last one up. I don't believe your last one.
There was and I don't know exact numbers, but I can guarantee on anything. There was times where Drew Brees broke the record for highest QB accuracy in a season, and I believe there was either 1 or 2 times that he actually broke his own record.
That's debatable. You know what? Be the stat guy.
I'm already on it.
We're going to move over to the Giants. So let's see. What do we got for the Giants? They got a couple receivers, or at least one receiver. They got John Ross today, yeah?
Yes. They bring in. Helps if I hit update. They bring in John Ross, probably sitting at their top receiver right now, next to Sterling Shepard,
who is also a free agent, unless they signed him back already.
No, I didn't know he was a free agent. That might be true. I thought he was still there.
What I'm looking at least on this 2020 depth chart list on MFL, is these ones that's got the stars next to them say that they're being marked as free agents. So it's only as accurate as what I'm looking at. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, because they're not bringing back Golden Tate. Okay. He is a free agent.
Gotcha.
So I thought Sterling Shepard was staying. But regardless, that's about the only notable news for the Giants. They do bring in Devontae Booker, probably as a touch the ball one-time guy, because we know Saquon runs things.
I mean, you've got Wayne Gollum still there as well. So what does that look like? I think Dion Lewis is still there. They've got an Alfred Morris as well. So some of those guys are going to probably have to go too.
I would assume so. Now we get to the dumpster fire across the field there.
Waving that flag. Yeah, I got the shirt on too. But it doesn't matter because it's just a shirt, right? It's green. That's why I wore it. I could have put anything green on, but Jets is the only thing I own that's green, right? Shepard signed a 4-year deal last year. He'll be a free agent in 2024. Okay, interesting. Let's see. What did the Jets do? The only thing that I know of right now is they picked up Corey Davis, right? It makes me kind of happy. I'm a Corey Davis fan. But I don't know much else outside of that. You did say P. Ryan went somewhere else.
Yeah. Let's see. They brought in Carl Lawson, the defensive end, Corey Davis. They lose Pat Eiflin, their guard. They bring in Justin Hardy from New Orleans, corner, and Jared Davis they bring in from Detroit.
Yeah, not a whole lot going on there. A lot of rumors going around what's going to happen with Sam Darnold. Got that. Okay. Average Josh, what do you know about this quarterback accuracy stuff you're spewing?
Okay, so for all time for career, Drew Brees is currently number 2. So this is from when they came into the league until now. So from 2001 to 2020, Drew Brees is number 2 with 67.7%. Number 1 being Deshaun Watson with 67.8%, but has been in the league a lot shorter. So that's
time.
As far as single season goes. We'll start with top 10 because Drew Brees was on this list a couple more times. So number 9 in 2020 this season, Drew Brees had 70.5%. At number 7 in 2009, Drew Brees had 70.6. At number 5, Drew Brees had 71.2% in 2011. And then in number 3, 72% in 17. Number 2, 74.3% in 2019. And number 1, 74.4% in 18.
So
All those
7 of
Drew
the
Brees.
top 10.
Not bad.
Yes.
Hey, so when we brought this up, Chris keeping us honest over here, saying that we were talking about the wrong P. Ryan. So Bengals kept their P. Ryan, and LaMichael is still at the Jets. So they're both still in their original spots. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Thank you for keeping us honest, man. All right, so let's get off the dumpster fire that is the Jets, and let's talk about Philadelphia.
The dumpster fire. That's is the
Yeah.
Eagles.
Go
So
from one dumpster
interesting
fire
turn
to
of
another.
events. Interesting turn of events. One that I did see is they bring back Goodwin off of the COVID list. But because of the caveat in his contract, since he never played a snap with the Eagles, he returns to the 49ers as the deal is unraveled.
Saw that.
And then the 49ers turn around and cut him.
Interesting.
So he is a free agent.
Very crazy, right?
Outside of that, they lose Jalen Mills and they lose Jonathan Ford, 2 safeties. Outside of that, no other news. They have been in quote unquote cap hell. So they've been redoing contracts. Outside of that, they have no money to go out and spend. So
What about Deshaun
they
Jackson?
have, however,
I thought I heard something about Deshaun Jackson today.
yeah. So he is a free agent.
Okay.
He was cut a while ago.
Okay.
After the season that ended. They have, however, given Zach Ertz permission to seek a trade on his own. He is in his final year, but they assume that they will probably have to restructure that if he stays with the Eagles because of the cost to the team, or try to trade him.
Okay.
And that is
I have not heard. I haven't heard a single thing out of Pittsburgh. What do you know about Pittsburgh?
I see Bud Dupree is about it. He is now gone.
Who's that?
Bud Dupree.
Oh, okay.
And then you have Mike Hilton leaves, and that's about it. No fantasy relevance there.
So here's what we're going to do. Chris, you still out there? Let us know all of the hot takes on Seattle and how you see them as Juju is, I know he's getting some there's some talk about Juju. I haven't heard anything on Connor, but I know
They
that
are
they're
both
interest.
Yeah. They are both free agents.
Okay. Let's go down and talk. Let's talk about San Francisco, and we'll let Chris gather all the thoughts for Seattle, and then we'll throw Chris's thoughts up here on the screen. San Francisco. Kendrick Bourne left. He is now where? He's in New England?
Yes.
That's where all the mediocre wide receivers go. Got it. What else you got?
No real other fantasy relevance here. They bring in Trent Williams, back, 33-year-old. Don't know why. They bring in Alex Mack, the center from the Falcons. They lose Solomon Thomas to the Vegas Raiders. And that is about it from them. As we said, Marquise Goodwin is a free agent now as well.
All right, let's talk about these Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Tom Brady signs this crazy contract, right, to make sure that they can still continue saving cap room so they can put the right people around him. Chris Godwin gets hit with the franchise tag. Gronkowski gets signed to a 1-year deal. I don't remember what it was worth. I want to say it was 10 mil, but it could be, the numbers could be wrong.
8
mil.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What else does the landscape of the team look like right now? What about Fournette, Jones, McCoy?
So as far as signings or releases, that's about it. They keep Shaquille Barrett, their star linebacker, signed a 4-year deal. They signed their kicker, but nobody cares. Not a person. They have Ndamukong Suh is still out there. Antonio Brown is still out there. Fournette is still out there. LaShawn McCoy, who was bragging about being a 2-time Super Bowl champion, who didn't play a snap in either game, he can be signed again. And that's about it for players for them that are sitting out there. Nothing else.
Eric, we appreciate you. Thank you for that. I'm going to make sure I hold on to this in the chat group if it's even possible. That's why I'm putting it up on the screen now so I can see it for a later date. Somebody copy and paste that and put that in the chat somewhere for us for later. So we have a nice free agency tracker to go off. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for being out there and watching this. We'll call it right in between the average bros and definitely under the empty wagon broadcast tonight. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we got 3 teams left. We throw Seattle in here. All right. Chris finally coming up on us. So Carson's a free agent. Be interesting to see what happens where he goes. Poona Ford is re-signed. Everett's there now. Witherspoon, cornerback, will replace Griffin. Gabe Jackson signed recently about 30 minutes ago. Should upgrade the O-line for the run-heavy game we want this year. Let me look across Seattle's things. So,
the issue there is they want to have a run-heavy game this year with what running back?
Especially since I'm hearing that that Carson is a free agent and probably will be gone. Who's left? Carlos Hyde, Rashad Penny.
No, Hyde's
Wilson.
not there.
Okay, that's right. We just said he ended up going to
Jacksonville.
That's right. Russell Wilson. I mean, there's talk about Eric says he thinks it's finally Penny's job. The problem has been in the Seattle backfield is injuries, right?
Yes.
I forgot about DJ Dallas being there as well, too. So, yeah. Najee Harris in the draft. Okay. That would be awesome there.
If they take Harris, that's a good fit.
Yeah, that would be awesome there.
Probably the top running back out of this draft, I believe.
I think a lot of people would agree with you, yeah. All right, 2 teams left. Tennessee. So we know that Corey Davis is now a Jet. Jono Smith is now a Patriot. What else you got?
No real fantasy relevance outside of that. They bring in Bud Dupree, and that's about it. Clowney is still a free agent on the defensive side. But here's my question. Does losing Corey Davis and Jono Smith do much for them fantasy-wise or to that team as far as their offensive goes? Because it's A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry. I mean, they didn't really use Corey Davis or Smith to the extent that most people would have liked to seen anyway.
I think Frisker is going to be a good tight end there. They don't have to really worry about the loss of Smith. I think unless they bring another wide receiver in, Davis leaving maybe hurts A.J. Brown a little bit because he was at least the one guy that could take the focus off of A.J. Brown. So if they could bring somebody else in there, because I don't even know who else is there outside of those 2 guys. I'm looking across the list. Is Adam Humphries even still there? Is that a thing?
No, he's a free agent.
Yeah. And then who's the next guy up that can take that away? And if it's not there now, like, are we drafting it because we're deep in wide receivers this year? So
that would probably be my guess. Just draft them.
All right, last but certainly not least, the Washington football team. We know Alex Smith has finally hung it up. We know Fitzmagic is there now.
So Alex Smith has not retired again.
Yeah, yet?
I believe he's just a free agent.
Stop it.
He has not hung it up.
Come on. The dude needs to retire. I mean, we love
Where
you,
he
Alex.
wants to play.
No, we love you.
Yes.
Retire, please. Come on. Free Scary Terry with Fitzmagic there. And then we said at the top, we got another wide receiver there now. Who went there? Curtis Samuel?
Yeah.
Yes, Curtis Samuel goes there. Fitzpatrick goes there. They also retain Lamar Miller.
Okay.
who just stacks their backfield with the 10 other guys they have back there.
True. Let's see. Let's look. I'm looking at the running backs right now. Who does it next year? Gibson, McKissick. Who's the guy there?
It's going to be Gibson as 1, McKissick in 2. Gibson, you got to remember, is probably hurt.
And I like what Eric just said here too. And their tight end finished in the top 5. And Fitzmagic does like using the tight ends. And I'm glad that I just ended one of my dynasties ended up getting Logan Thomas as a tight end on my team. But I mean, it needed a tight end anyways. It was in bad shape. So that's all 32 teams and where we're at in free agency right now. You guys got anything else that you want to input in here before we start wrapping this up?
Have we mentioned a giveaway?
No, but you can mention it right now.
Oh, I get the honors. Ooh, how do I do this?
What?
I don't know. I don't know how to do this. I've never done this before.
I'll even give you a visual.
There you go.
All right. So if you guys are new here and you haven't seen the previous Average Bros fantasy football show, we are doing our first giveaway. It is for a t-shirt of your choosing, and it is very, very simple to enter into this free giveaway. All you have to do is head on over to twitch.tv/fantasy_sports_alliance and give the channel or page or whatever you want to call it a follow, as well as share it on either Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, and tag the FSA account on there. I thought somebody was going to put it across the bottom here for me. Thank you. So yes, you can see the Twitch down there now if you're watching it live or rewatching it later on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And also, if you guys don't win the giveaway, we are also giving you guys a extra special treat on top of that, little cherry on top. If you guys don't win the giveaway, you can also head on over to the FSA merch store and enter in code FANATIC, and you guys can get 10% off on either 1, the Quan for the Win t-shirt, the Angry Commish t-shirt because he ain't got no trophies, or 3, the what are we calling it? The Let's Go t-shirt?
The Let's Go Empty Wagon t-shirt.
The Let's Go Empty Wagon t-shirt. You can get 10% off on one of those 3, or you can just get all 3. I mean, why not? They're super comfortable, and you rep the brand. Gotta love it.
And then we've got Mick Walter out there for St. Patrick's Day. If you want a Mick Walter shirt, we're affectionately calling him Mick Walter today. But Walter in all of his St. Patty's gear. It's a good looking shirt, man.
Is that included in the 10% off?
It is not currently.
Oh, you suck.
I think we're gonna sell a couple of them though. I saw a couple people very interested in them already. So. Hey, you guys ready to wrap this up? We're sitting at 122. Let's get this done. So, hey, I want to thank all of our sponsors. We started the show off at the beginning, welcoming back Football Darts. We want to thank them again. Thank you, Football Darts, for being our broadcast sponsor again this year and extra. Don't forget, you can go out and get your boards 30% off by using the promo code IPlayFSA. That'll come with 4 darts and all of the pegs that you need in a rule book ready to play right out of the box. What I need to do is I need to pull mine back out and show a visual of what this thing looks like live versus just the digital image that we put up here so everybody can see how it looks. Thank you again to Nature Coast Tailgating for coming back as our World Championship sponsor this year. QB54 sponsoring the Arm and Leg League again this year. Shell and Mel's Boutique back as a bowl game sponsor. Cranky Veteran Candle Company back as a bowl game sponsor. Same with Southern Siren Sugar Scrub. Finger Lakes Mercantile, our new sponsor, Redwood Durable, and of course, as always, the Recast, who are the official music of FSA. You can hear at our intro every single week while we're here. Next broadcast for me is going to be on the 31st. That's 2 weeks from now. You guys are going to be back Tuesday. Empty Wagon guys are going to be back in between us on Friday, this Friday, from Friday going into Monday, midnight East Coast time. And then we have a special treat where in our 1 week off, we will actually be on Ignite Your Business podcast, as we will be doing that on 7th of April. So make sure you start paying attention to your social media as we start plugging that prior to that podcast. And make sure you go over and give it a listen whenever it happens. I'll be back again on the 14th and 28th of April. That's just before the NFL draft. And then we'll be back on again immediately after the NFL draft on 5 May. And then we'll figure out if we're going to go every week from there on out, or if we're going to stay every other week until we get a little bit closer to the season. And are you guys going to continue being on Tuesdays opposite?
We will continue to do whatever you are doing. So as of now, we are every other up until the draft, and then we will decide shortly then thereafter based on your decision.
I think we should probably do a lot of broadcasts the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, live broadcast during the draft.
Just all the way through.
Why
72
not?
hour. 72
We're
hour
allowed
broadcast?
8 hours on this thing for a live broadcast, right? 8 hours and then come back.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh yeah, I think.
Oh my god,
we should do this. Here's the unfortunate part. I'm at work on 2 of those days.
Well, the unfortunate part for me is I don't really care too much about college ball, so I don't really know many of the players.
Can we mute him? Do we have the ability to mute that guy? He said he doesn't care about something football related. Oh man, that's just harsh. That's mean. Welcome back, Kev.
Stick him on the bottom.
There you go. Hey, I want to thank everybody for watching the Fanatically Real broadcast tonight, sponsored by Football, Darts, and Fantasy Sports Alliance. If you like the show, please go out, like, share, follow, subscribe. Follow us on all of our social media. Go out. If you're not already a follower on Twitch, make sure you go over there as well, so you don't miss the opportunity to catch us on all of those. Let's see. Eric says he's down for rounds 1 through 3. Doesn't really matter after that. You know what? That's not a bad idea. You know what? Super show. We haven't had a super show for quite a while. We need to get all 6 of us in here. Eric, reach out to the Empty Wagon guys and see how they feel about that. See if we can't get us on here. We're all on different time zones. Maybe we can stretch this thing out and make it happen. Stay average. I like that. That's pretty cool. That's a nice hashtag.
Anybody who's been who have been seeing my tweets recently, I have been doing this. I'm starting this trend.
Stay average. I like that one a lot. Well, you have yours, we have ours, and we're going to close the show tonight by saying, don't forget, we are Fanatically Real. Y'all have a good night.